Why do so many people be at a level who have their best interests at heart? And another reason why people struggle in sales is they just may be lacking experience. That could be a good reason too. But let me explain and let me cover with you the results that I found when I researched why so many people struggle in sales. And yesterday I had the opportunity to speak with 3 different general managers about this and sales managers. And when they heard this perspective, they told me that they had never thought about it this way, and it blew their mind, absolutely. And so what we're going to talk about in this video is why so many people struggle in sales. And it's probably going to be something you never thought about. Let's explain this. And predominantly, you hear me talk about automotive sales all the time. But let me explain why so many people struggle, not just in automotive sales, but in sales, period. Let's think about it. If we walked into a high school right now today, and we asked a class of graduating seniors, what do they want to be when they grow up? None of them will raise their hand and say they want to be in automotive sales or sales in general. As a matter of fact, if most people said out loud that they want to go into automotive sales or into sales, their parents would probably smack the shit out of them and say, that's not what I'm sending you to school for. And as a matter of fact, when people get started, let's just say working at the dealership like I did, it wasn't an ideal job for me. At the end of the day, I was evicted out of my apartment with my wife and my children. I had absolutely zero money. And the only place that was hiring at that time, like most dealerships are, was a dealership. So when I came in there with 1 foot in saying, man, I got to get some paychecks to pay some bills. But I had 1 foot hanging out, hoping that quote unquote real job was going to call me. But here's what you're really up against when you get started in this business. You're up against layers and layers and layers and years and years and years of negative perceptions about the particular business or industry. Let's face it. How many people do you know say they love salespeople? As a matter of fact, when we walk into a business and a salesperson says, can I help you? What is the very first thing we say? No, I'm just looking. Knowing we may be there to look at something, but we want to do everything we can to avoid this salesperson. And also, if in our minds prior to getting started, we felt like salespeople were always manipulative and were trying to misuse people, now when you get started doing it, guess what? You become one of those people. So when somebody says, man, I've been in sales, Brian, I've been working at my dealership, but I just don't know what's happening. I want you to rewind something. I want you to think about it and be real with yourself and be real with me. And you can share it in the comments. As a matter of fact, like this video. Let's make sure we get as many people on it as possible. Subscribe, share. But let's think about it. Prior to you getting started, if somebody said, hey, what do you think about people that are in sales or in automotive sales? You know what you probably said? Oh, they're liars. They're cheats. Don't trust them. Don't believe anything that they say. And so now life hits us in the face. And now here we are in the position doing the thing that we say we hated the most. We dislike salespeople, especially automotive salespeople. We think they're shady. We think they're manipulative. And now here we are trying to perform our duties, and we wonder why it seems like we keep bumping our heads over and over again. And this has nothing to do with your sales managers, has nothing to do with anybody else. This has something to do with you and I. You see, in our minds is that if you've had layers of negative perceptions about people in sales, if you had a negative perception about people in automotive sales, and now you get started in it, do you know what that means? Is that for all of those years you had those thoughts, and now all of a sudden you want to make money and you wonder why it seems so hard. Why does it seem like you love it one day, you hate it the next? Why does it seem like you feel bad whenever you do close a deal and you make money on somebody? It's because you've got years and years and years of negative thinking that have been reinforced and reinforced and reinforced in your mind. And so when you try to get out there and perform, it's hard. Sometimes it can feel like you're bumping your head against the wall and you just don't know why. But it doesn't have to be that way. Let me explain to you some realities about sales. One of the things about sales is this. Number one, it's the highest paid profession in the world. Number two, let's talk automotive sales. In automotive sales, it's the second largest purchase next to most people buying a home. And it may seem like it's just another deal to you, but we don't know how long this person took to build up their credit. Whether it's the first vehicle they're buying as a newly married couple, if it's the first vehicle they're buying after being divorced, first vehicle they're buying after getting out of college, first vehicle they're buying after getting out of the military, we don't know. And so one of the things we do have to realize is that in sales, you genuinely provide a public service to other people, because without us, there was a study done that if you took all the salespeople off the planet for 24 hours, the world would shut down. Because everything from the straw covers, the little white straw covers, from the ketchup packs, from toothpicks, whatever it is that you use, there's a company that made it, and there's people that need it, and there's people like you and I that bridge the gap between it. But there's a lot of negative things, a lot of stinking thinking that get caught up in there. So one thing I want to share with you is this. If you're in sales, and you are wondering, why does it seem like you keep bumping your head? Why does it seem like you keep putting in the effort, but it's just not working for you? You have to go back deep into your mind and ask yourself, what were your thoughts prior to you getting started in it? Did you think positive or negative? Did you see it as something that was a genuine service to the public, or did you see it as people ripping people off? And one thing I'll share with you is this. Most of the people that work around you, they clear background checks, they clear drug screens. They're good people. But most people struggle because they just don't know what to do. They just don't know what to say. And at the end of the day, I always stress this, which is good salespeople practice what to say, while great ones practice what to ask. And there's an old proverb that says, only a fool will learn from their own experiences. I prefer to learn from the experience of others. And I've said it before. Isaac Newton said, if I see further than others because I stood on the shoulders of giants. With sales being the highest paid profession in the world, and you got a lot of people out here that are walking over dollars to pick up dimes. They're wondering why their bills aren't being paid. Why do they constantly struggle? Why do they wake up in agony? And like I shared before, did you know the #1 heart attack rate day is on Monday morning between 8 and 9? Because people go in to do jobs that they hate. But you and I have the opportunity, being in sales, to actually be the bright spot in somebody's day. But anybody that's successful in sales did not get there just by luck. It's not about the gift of gab. As a matter of fact, when I hear people say sales is about persuading and it's about the gift of gab, that's a lie. It's not about the gift of gab. It's not about persuading. It's about the gift of listening with the intent to understand. And it's about identifying the need of the person we deal with and presenting them with a solution that's going to bring them the most value. But how do you do that? Because you only know what you know, and you don't know what you don't know. There are things that we can say that will, in a particular situation, can stimulate an emotion in a person that will help them better understand where it is you're coming from and how you're trying to help them. There's a way that you could present an option for a person that makes them feel like it is tailored and customized for them. And if you always chase the money, you'll always be broke. Because it's bigger than the money. When you build and establish a common ground in a relationship with somebody, and your intent is to genuinely help this person solve whatever problem they're having, you know what? People are far more receptive, and the person will be willing to spend more money with you than going someplace else where they can get it cheaper. I see we got more people in the building, man. Show me some comments. Hit that like button. Let's make sure we get as many people on here as possible. But when you establish a relationship and you're coming from a place of genuinely trying to help these people make a smart, safe buying decision, you're welcome in any circle. But when you come across as trying to sell, you'll always be refused and pushed off. Think about how smart you are. If you walked into a place and you told yourself, no matter what they say, I'm not buying anything, but yet they try to force it on you and try to make you do it, even if you loved it, even if it's right in the price range you want, you know what you're going to do? You're going to resist it. Because as human beings, remember this phrase, human beings, we resist anything that persists, and we all want what we can't have. But there really is a science to being able to do this thing the right way. But the first thing you got to do is go into your mental Rolodex and ask yourself, what has been the things that you've thought about over years about selling? Thank you, Drew. Thanks for the video. Thank you. Oh, Luther, how you doing? But what is the things that you've thought about sales prior to getting in it? And here's the thing about it. Every intelligent group of people I've ever shared this with have told me they never thought about it. Do you know something that from the day you were born, I was born, our parents, our grandparents, our great-grandparents, every human being that's been born on this planet was born into sales. So when I ask people how many years of sales experience, they say 5, they got 10, they have 15. When in reality, however old you are, that's how many years you've got. Because every time you open your mouth, unless you want people to believe you're a liar, you're always selling an idea, a point of view, or an opinion. Sales is something that no human being can escape. It's just as simple as riding in the car with somebody saying, hey, I want to go to Taco Bell. And they say they want to go to Taco Bell. You say, hey, let's go to Chipotle. And they say, okay, that's a sale. Any relationship that you've been in, you weren't the only person that thought that person was attractive. You were one of many, but yet you presented yourself and sold yourself in a way that they said, I want to build a family with them. I want to have children with them. Any previous place of employment you went to, you were not the only person who was applying for that position. You were one of hundreds, if not thousands of candidates, but yet you presented yourself in a way that they said, we get the highest rate of return on our investment with them. Do you realize that even sitting in a room by yourself and doing nothing, you've sold yourself that it's better to do nothing than to get out and get something? And I get messages and phone calls from people all the time that say, Brian, I want my life to be better. Brian, I want to make more money. Brian, I want to do more for my family. Brian, I want to go to the next level. But when you ask that individual, when was the last time you read a book? When was the last time you attended a training? When was the last time you attended a workshop? They'll say, man, I don't have time for that. You don't have time not to do it. Because if you are unable to afford taking advantage of it today, what do you think it's going to be like in 2 years from now, from 5 years from now? There's a thing called inflation. And one thing I tell people, if it's hard on you financially today, do you really believe tomorrow's going to be any brighter? It doesn't work that way. It's like sitting up in a room and saying how hungry you are, but being unwilling to get up there and go make a sandwich or go get the things you need to make a sandwich. It don't matter how long you sit in that room and how bad and how hungry you are. Unless you get up and you go get that food or you have somebody bringing it to you, your ass is going to starve. And that's what this is like in your life. There is nobody on this planet, your mother, your father, your kids, your brothers and sisters, nobody can do it for you. Nobody can read. Nobody can learn for you. Nobody can develop the skills for you. And as a matter of fact, there's no person on this planet, maybe besides your mother, who cares more about how you eat and how you pay your bills than you. And if you do have a family, especially if you're a man, ladies, no disrespect, but if you're a man, you got a lot of weak-hearted men out here that'll sit at home complaining about the bills with their wife and how tight it is with their girl or with their spouse or with their partner. And then at the end of the day, guess what? She's sitting there saying, or that person sitting there saying, damn, you stressing? I'm supposed to be the one stressing. You're supposed to be the strong one. You're supposed to be the one that the anchor that's holding us down. But guess what? It's not that way right now. I see so many weak-hearted ass dudes that bitch, moan, and complain instead of taking a little bit of time, a little bit of their resources to be selfless, to provide for those who depend on them. A man's job is to protect and provide. And if you're not doing that, you're not a fucking man. You a little ass boy. You see what it is? I'm a big game hunter, which means I eat what I kill. Every dollar that I make was earned. Every deal that I book, they called me or I reached out to them. And damn it, when they cut me that $10,000 check or that $5,000 check for being there for one day, it was earned. And I make more money in one day than some people making a full month working. But then when I try to provide and share with them the tools that work so they can sell their way out of where they are. I hear people say, yeah, I want to be in business, Brian. I say, what type of business you want to own? I don't know. Well, man, you don't get into business just to get into business. You get into business because you have a passion. You get into business because you provide a solution to a problem that the general public has. That's what it is. Business means problems. Why is McDonald's successful? You can go to Italy, to Russia, to America, and the Big Mac is what it is. It's consistency. Okay, that's what business is. And they provide a solution to a problem, which means if you're hungry, you want to eat in 30 seconds, they got you. Why do I make the money that I make while the next person works way harder than me, putting in tons of overtime at their place, and it takes them a full month to make what I make in a day? Why? Because I increased my mental Rolodex to where I provide more value to that business where they're small, in that $5,000 for one day for me to come in investment in me will generate them 100 times in return over the next course of the year. You have to increase your value to increase your monetary return. And I spoke about this yesterday on the video where I said, you know, when I do events and stuff, and obviously you could tell I'm African American if you didn't know. Yes, I am. But one thing I realize is that, especially my people, we bitch, moan, and complain, and we talk crap about everybody that look like us. And most of my customers, literally last night, I had over 50 sales last night. And you know what? And when they do it, I see the thumbnails or I see the pictures and I get the notification. Do you know majority of them come from other countries around the world? And predominantly of them are of European descent. Now, we do have a few Hispanics and African Americans that do get down. But amongst my people, we complain the most. But when the resources are given, we say, man, I don't got time for that. Now, we'll go spend time watching that LeBron James basketball game. Or we'll go watch that football game. Or we'll sit up and if you go ask a person, hey, what's your favorite movie? 9 times out of 10, it's going to be some negative shit. Belly, Menace to Society, Boys in the Hood. Never anything uplifting. You say, what's the last book you read? Oh, man, you know, not since high school. And we wonder, why do we seem like we're in a mouse wheel running and spinning our wheels over and over and over and over and over again with no results. And yesterday I put out I had a 24-hour bet with a friend of mine for $1,000 and I won it thanks to the people, you know, because he said, Brian, it don't matter if you give this shit away to people. Most people are lazy. They're unwilling to sacrifice. And at the end of the day, they want everything, but ain't willing to give shit. And if you think about it, even one of the most popular books on the planet called the Bible said it's better to give than to receive. And so when it says that, it doesn't mean, yeah, giving other people, but also giving some time of your time and of your resource for you to be able to get a return that will help you take your life to the next level. And so to be successful, it's not that there's no opportunity. It's not that the processes don't work. You have to go back to your mental conditioning. What's in your mental Rolodex? Have you thought of yourself negatively? Did something happen in your past that somebody told you you'd never be shit? Did you wrong somebody and you just can't get over it? Nobody else out here knows the crazy shit that goes on in our mind, but you do. And I'm here to tell you that I come from a college dropout. Somebody that was evicted out of his home with his family at the age of 24 years old, bumbled around, jumped around job to job prior to me getting started at the dealership. And even in my first year, was probably one of the worst employees the store could have. But luckily, I had good people that introduced me to resources, introduced me to what training was. And over the last almost 20 years, I've taken that information, and not only did I capitalize on it, where I generated a very, very respectable six-figure income. When I walked out of the store, I was making over $140,000 a year. And now I make many, many times that over. Why? It's because I took the time to take the lessons and the things I learned, to apply it, to improve them, to apply it, to improve them, to apply it, to improve, to the point to where now I teach people all around the country and all around the world who are having tremendous results to be successful. And so what I've done, due to popular demand, I've extended the special offer that I gave yesterday for an additional 24 hours. I have a $1,000 hologram that I sell to people all around the country and online. And I've been giving it away for $65. This is the, I want to prove and see that if a person says they don't have the time, they don't have the reason, I know you got to pay your bills. And if it's hard to pay your bills today, how hard is it going to be tomorrow, next week, next month, or next year? Unless you do something about it now. And if somebody told you you could spend $65 to make $10,000, $50,000, or $100,000, would you do it? And if you wouldn't, you're an idiot. And so what I have available right now, the link is in the description. The program that I said, here's what it all includes, y'all. Let me explain something to you. It has over 12 hours of audio and video training. If you like my YouTube videos and you subscribe to my channel and you watch me, man, those programs will make this shit look like kindergarten child's play. Because this is cool. This is just to introduce and boost your credibility and be able to help people. But remember something, free information is good, but great information is never free. All the people that I have that I work with that are in the mastermind group, do you really believe I would share out here on YouTube with the same stuff that I share with them, that's helping them close 20 deals a month, that's helping them hold more gross? It's about spending $1,000, goes through the entire process from when you bring a person in all the way in to when it's time for them to leave. And I'm not talking about some bullshit $30,000, 30,000 elevated view perspective. I'm talking about real deal internal shit for you to use and apply immediately. And yeah, I'm talking real. Because right now my training class will be getting started here shortly, so I ducked off one of the offices. But you and I, we're friends. There's no need for me to play when I'm talking to you. And this is about your livelihood. And if you don't care about your own success, why in the world should I be polite about it? But it takes you through the entire, you talking about the sales process, it has sales training manual that you can download and have right at your desk. So when you run up against certain situations with customers, you know what to do. There's over 40 word tracks for you to handle. I want to think about it. The price is too high. The trade payoff. How to prospect for calls. What to say. An actual script. So when you're making phone calls, no more of that bullshit. This is such and such a dealership. No, there's a way for you to reach out to a person that keeps them engaged and to keep the conversation going where you learn more information and you can get that person inside. There's also how to drive Facebook ads, online sales training, which is audio and videos. That's over 3 hours. There's also the 10 videos of the 100 success tips to take yourself to the next level. There's also the online traffic surge program, which also has over 10 videos, which teach you how to use Instagram, Snapchat, LinkedIn, how to drive leads to yourself, to your social media page, to your dealership, asking for you to buy. There's also the How to Dominate on YouTube ebook. There is so much stuff. I'll put it to you like this. Every single person that is downloaded, every single one. And I offer a 90-day money-back guarantee where you can keep all the materials. If you don't feel it works, I'll send you your money back and you keep everything. I've had not one return, not one. Why? Because it's real. Click the link. At least go look at it. Even if you're somebody that says, well, you know, Brian, I think I'm just going to stumble through and I'm going to, more power to you. But if you are somebody that's looking to grow and you are somebody that says, man, damn, I spend more money than that on Netflix. I spend more money than that on going out to lunch. I spend more money on that on going to the movies with just me and my partner, me and my girl, or me and my man. So does it work? You know it works. How else would you be here watching this video right now if the things I'm telling you about didn't work? How would I have the thousands of subscribers on here? How would I have the thousands of subscribers on LinkedIn? How would I have the thousands of subscribers on Facebook? How would I be traveling all around the United States training and teaching people how to be effective and successful if the shit that I'm giving to you didn't work? We wouldn't even be here right now. So the proof is already in the pudding. And the fact that you and I are connected, you listen to the stuff and you say, damn, man, something about this really makes sense to me. And if you think the little YouTube stuff makes sense, wait till you dig deep into it. So I challenge you. Are you worth it? You may stay eat for a lifetime. I'm teaching. Therefore, maybe you and I are doing an event years, working together at a seminar. Maybe you and I are presenting at a emails and messages from people that say, man, I went from selling products is nothing more than it is. It's a hook for me to get you engaged in you. Because I heard it from Jay-Z and them back in the day. If everybody in my clique is rich, my clique is rugged. And so I want to build with people and help them get money. So as businesses grow, who knows, I want to do a national seminar one day and I want you to be a part of it. I should be able to contact you for 100 grand. Why? Because we got there. You use the tools to help you get yourself there. And so now, say you can't afford it, you can't afford not to. Click the link in this description. Go and at least check it out and see everything you get. And you ask yourself, I get going. People are coming in upside down, and that's a part of qualifying. You need to ask an individual, hey, what is that you drove in? Blah, blah, blah. Hey, you looking to sell it? We may be interested in buying it. And they say, oh, yeah, I am. This, that, and the other. Okay, let me ask you this question. When's your next payment? Yada, yada. Okay, and how many payments do you have left before it's actually paid off? Oh, well, I owe this. Okay, well, here's the good news of it. In the event that you do decide to sell it to us, we're going to pay it off for you, which means you'll have a paid off vehicle on your credit. That's going to increase your probability. So the next time you come to see me 5 years from now, it's going to be even easier. So what I'll do is I'll have one of my managers, I'll get the keys, have one of my managers check it out while you and I finish talking, and we'll at least tell you what we're willing to buy it for. So what if they're upside down? So what? You have to educate them, A, on the benefit that, yes, we're going to pay this vehicle off for you. You're going to have another one paid off on your credit. Congratulations for that. And at the end of the day, any difference that you had, it's going to be tacked on. So it may make your payment just a little bit higher, but the benefit is you'll have a paid off vehicle. How can we know if we are getting our true commission? I hear that said by a lot of people. And let me explain something to you. If you are putting it in the hands of your managers, to where you're cutting price and discounting that much, then you probably shouldn't be in it. Because, yeah, you know, we know that some things are hidden, but listen, you work there. You have a right to see what it is. You can ask them what it is, what the invoice is. Why not? Why not? But I talk to most salespeople. I say, hey, how much commission did you make this month? I don't know. How much you think you made on that? I don't know. They don't have any information. Damn it. If somebody told you what they're looking for, or you all have a vehicle option on it, while you're standing there talking to manager, why not ask him, hey, listen, man, what's the invoice on this thing? Because I just want to make sure that I can hold as much as I possibly can. Tell me where I'm at and what I'm working with, so when I go out there, I know what type of wiggle room I may have if need be. You have to learn to talk. But see, all of these things, a person don't know what they don't know. But a $65 investment will answer every one of those questions, and I assure you will help you eliminate and reduce any of those problems that you have. So make sure you check them out. All right, y'all, we're about to get ready to get going. But I wanted to jump on here again. As you see, to my promise I made a couple weeks ago, I can't let me traveling take me away from my people. Y'all are my family, man. This is why I do this. You know what I mean? I appreciate the support. I appreciate all the comments. And to all 50 of those people that downloaded last night, that was awesome. And I got the emails, and next week we all gonna be getting together on the conference call. And I've got people that already been messaging like, man, I listened to just 3 parts of the program and have already put it in use this morning at their store and have already used it to close deals. Just from a last night download, it helped them close a deal. Just one thing. What can it do for you? So make the decision, make the move. Other than that, man, I'm Brian Maxwell. I look forward to seeing you at the top, not just at the dealership. And I'm over and out, y'all. All right.